it's List here, and today we're going to be doing something a bit different. I'm going to be testing out the training missions to see how good they actually are and if they will actually teach new players on how to get better. So we're going to start off with World War II. We're probably only going to do one training mission. We'll see how long it is. Um, this is going to be a live game, so I might not have a whole lot to say. But yeah, enjoy. So already starting off here, is this a 8 versus 9? Okay, this is interesting. I haven't done the training missions in a while, um, so we'll see. Starts you off with full premium, which is kind of odd because you're not going to be firing full premium. It's basically telling you where to drive. This looks like Overlord, but a bit different, so that's interesting. This is actually a cool map. I wish this was a map in the game. So it's kind of just telling us to drive for right now. It's telling you to use the aiming. Aim your gun at the enemy. So basically, I would aim. Now, it has me... What's my alpha here? I did 200 on the first shot. So I can tell you the alpha isn't right already. I'm not sure why my alpha is so high. And yeah, I'm facing against bots. I mean, it's kind of expected. But why am I facing tier 3s? I'm not going to be facing tier 3s, and this is a tier 6. So obviously, if they're going to be shooting at me, I'm going to have tons of armor. There's like no tier 3 that's going to be penning a Sherman from the front. So that's kind of... I mean, this is not how the game's going to play out. If you play multiplayer, it's not going to be that easy. Now, I know they were trying to teach people, but I don't know about this. It's gotten a lot of criticism in the past of how they teach the players, because World of Tanks console, whether you like it or not, they have some of the worst player base. They're so bad. And it's not because... It's more because the game doesn't teach them. And it's teaching me how to use auto aim. So it's saying to use right bumper, fire to look at the target. Yeah, I don't... This isn't really teaching me anything. Look, they can't even pen me. It's just telling me to use auto aim, which you shouldn't be using. You should be manually aiming. Auto aim is really a tool. You shouldn't be using... Even when I use auto aim, if I use it, it's going to be at very close range where I don't need to aim, or I need that snapshot maybe. You know, I know they're going to be getting into cover and I need to use it. But if it's like a long range shot, I'm going to almost always manually aim it. I don't know why they want people to rely on it, because people do rely on it way too much. When they did the test and they took it away, people were struggling so bad. And look, here's a tier 4. I mean, 230 damage. This thing doesn't even do 200 damage. Full premium. They're not teaching the players anything is the problem, because anybody can do this. Just they can't even pen me, so I'm pretty much invincible. All I gotta do is follow these markers here. I got full premium, so I'm gonna pen everything. They're tier 3s and 4s. I don't really understand. However, I must say this map does look pretty cool. I really wish this was a map. Okay, here's a tier 6. Is he gonna pen me? Yes, he did. Why do I have 2,000 health? I just realized that. Why does a tier 6 have 2,000 health? Yeah, use a repair kit. Okay. And it also has me with a premium repair kit. Not everybody's gonna have the money to use a premium repair kit, especially when you're first starting the game. You're gonna run everything standard. That was a big explosion. Yeah, what's with the 2,000 health? Am I like a Cold War Sherman tank at tier 6 with 220 alpha or 240 alpha, something like that? Okay, make use of bushes to hide your tank. What bushes? I mean, there aren't really bushes here. Okay. What am I aiming for? Yep. Okay, here they come. Yeah, look, little tier 3s, yay. Oh, I can almost one-shot them. I mean, this is going to teach me a lot. Obviously, you know, I know how to aim and everything already, so I'm just using it as a demonstration. But even as a new player who's not experienced and doesn't know how the game works, this is not going to be hard at all. And you're going to think, oh, wow, I'm so good at the game. Look at all these kills I'm getting. Just wait until you get in a bottom tier matchup in your tier 6 Sherman when you actually grind the line. You're going to get against, you know, tier 8s, 703, 2s, you know, all those a Grom. You're going to get it paired against a Grom or an SVAC that can one-shot you, because you have probably, what, like 800 health maybe at tier 6? This tank does? And 2 bots just killed themselves. But yeah, you have like 800 health maybe, and That's another thing. For new players, +1, -1 would be amazing for them, because even me as a very experienced and player that I know I'm a pretty good player. I know how everything works. I know how to make the most of my tank. But even if I'm, say, a tier 6 Sherman, bottom tier, there's nothing I can do really. Like, I can maybe try and fight the other tier 6s, but like, I'm not going to be penning a tier 8 heavy tank frontally or anything. It's just crazy. And look, they can't even pen me. Here, I'll let him. He can't even pen my side. Look at that. You're never going to be facing a tank like this. Let's see if he can pen. No, he can't pen my side. That's the problem. This teaches nothing. And I know there's more training missions, so I'm sure this isn't the only one that's going to be like this. But from the past when I played them, I don't remember them being any better than just facing bots like this. Because look at this. Nothing can pen me. It's not teaching them anything. They're not even firing at me. Look at this. They're aiming at the other bots. You're never going to get a matchup like this. That's the problem. You're never going to get a matchup like this and be able to pen everything. Because look, my marker is just red on everything because it gave me full premium. Now, I do fire full premium when I play tanks because I have the money to. I know some people don't like that because, you know, they think premium ammo, you know, it doesn't take any skill to be good. It does, because you still have to know, you still have to have knowledge of where to pen tanks. And, you know, a tier 6 with premium doesn't automatically pen a tier 8. But I don't know why they're setting you up with this, because you're going to have standard rounds at the beginning. And oh look, a Tiger 2 with 400 health. Ooh, I can't pen him. Oh no. What am I going to do? He's not even going to move. I'm just going to pen him in the side. Can I pen his cupola? No. I probably could, but yeah. Why does he have 420 health? A Tiger 2? Is that a tier 8? Yes, it is. I learned nothing, because I'm not even going to be coming up against those tanks. That's the problem. And yes, I'm the only one. I did 18 kills, 7,000 damage. I'm so good. And the thing is, they don't even have the decency to give you a commander. Why aren't they even teaching you to get a commander? I mean, I know it's a training mission. Yeah, okay. World War II training. We could try Cold War training. We'll see what this is like. This probably isn't any better. And we got a cut here. Okay. Kind of cool. Some people like Cold War. I'm going to skip this for now, just because I want to make the video somewhat short. Is this map looks like Dezpool, maybe? See, this looks a lot cooler, though. Whatever these maps are using, I wish they would have these in the random queue, because this looks sick. But yeah, we're in a M1A2 Abrams. Full premium again. Oh, yes. Let's learn how to use my tank. We're going to drive to the circle. Drive to another circle. They don't even see. They should be teaching you how to, say, maybe learn how to side scrape, or how to use turret armor, or how to go hold down. They're not teaching really any of that, or bush mechanics. You know, I really doubt they're gonna. That's very hard to learn, because for all the years I played this game, the first like 7 years, I was very bad. Like, I was really bad. I had like probably 3,000 or 4,000 games where I was just an absolutely terrible player, averaging less than 1,000 damage per game. And the reason of that is because I never was really taught, and I didn't know how stuff worked. The only way that I did get better, oh yeah, and look of fire, is from watching YouTubers and PC creators, because on console we don't even have a whole lot of people that explain this kind of stuff. Which I would like to maybe try and make some videos to help newer players. If you guys would be interested in that, if I have any newer players watching this. Because I think that's the best way, because Wargaming doesn't teach you how to do this. And yeah, look, they just want me to auto-aim. You know, and I'm not going to hit that, so I manually aim. Another thing, if you guys are auto-aiming, if somebody is moving... Oh, he stopped. But if somebody's moving like this, especially when they're moving away from you, you want to make sure you manually aim that, because if they're moving away from you, your gun is just locking onto the center of their tank. Like, that is fine, because he's moving directly towards me. But if somebody's moving, like, if they're moving like that from me, you want to make sure you manually aim, because you're not going to hit that shot because it's going on the center of their tank, and if they are moving, your gun is still shooting where they were, and if they're moving, it's going to shoot behind them. So that's always something you want to remember when you're using auto aim. And as a newer player, I would definitely say auto aim is a great tool to help you at least hit shots, you know, but don't rely on it. Too many people just start learning that way because the game is kind of teaching them, because I mean, it's literally telling me to auto aim. Like this, you don't want to auto aim. I mean, you can. He stopped moving. But like that, you can see I missed because he was moving. And they can't even pen me. See, in a situation like this, in a real game, you're getting penned there. A BMP-1, which I don't know my Cold War tanks, but I think that's an Era 2, and this is an Era 3. So we would never even meet each other. Look. Oh, wow. He did, like, 250 damage. That's not going to happen. That's the problem. So, if you ever do... oh, there's an invisible wall there. If you are a new player and you start playing this game, do not expect the game to actually be like this. This is what the game is sort of like if you play co-op mode. Co-op mode is basically only real players on your team, and the other team will be all AI or bots players. And it's kind of like that because these are bot players right here, and they're so dumb. The bots in this game are really dumb. They're not good at all. I know some games they're really good, but this game they're terrible. Other than them kind of cheating sometimes, like spotting at you or shooting at you when you're not spotted. Other than that, they're pretty bad. So this is if you want to play co-op, this is kind of what it would feel like. But if you're playing multiplayer, which is what this game was made on, this game used to only be multiplayer, which I think it should go back to that. Nothing against people that like co-op, but it only divides the player base more because where am I going? It only divides the player base more because that's less players in the multiplayer queue, which that used to be the only queue that there was. And along with Cold War, that then split it again in half. So that's the problem why you get so many bot games in multiplayer, because they split it so much. Yeah. We're just driving up here again, and I haven't learned a lot from this. Even if I was a new player, I'm just kind of like, oh, I'm just going to drive around, you know? And as you can see, I was angling to pretty much everything. So, you know, a new player might pull in here to a spot like this. And I'm guessing the tank's going to be out there. He might pull into a spot like this. Okay? Side on. If you do this in a multiplayer match or even a regular bot match, like a co-op match, they're going to just shred right through your side. Because if you don't know, the front of your tank is usually the strongest part. I know there are some tanks that are different, but it's almost always the strongest part of your tank. And some tanks are a little bit different, like they have great side armor, so you want to make sure you angle. But it's not teaching you that. It's just saying drive up here and look, I'm just going to aim down the barrel and shoot. That's all to the game. And some players might think that, and then when they actually do get put into a real game, are going to be frustrated and want to quit. Oh, I don't even think I was supposed to go down here. No, I wasn't. But that's part of the reason why the player base is bad. It's not necessarily the players, but it's because the game does not teach them. If you do want to get better, I would recommend either watching some of the videos on my channel I have, or watching other content creators, or even PC creators, because the game is so similar to World of Tanks PC that mostly everything applies over. For Watt PC, an amazing YouTuber I watched to get better was Ayuxin. He has some great high commentary videos. Now I know it is World of Tanks PC, but it is basically the same game. Everything pretty much transfers over. Just some of the equipment and all of that is different. Spotting mechanics are slightly different, I believe. Yeah. But at least it is saying to flank the heavy tank. Thing is, a heavy tank is not just going to sit there. A multiplayer heavy tank is probably not just going to sit there. He's going to hide behind the corners, so it's not going to be that easy. And it's not going to be just him there. There's probably going to be more than him at this corner. But like I was saying, Ayuk's a great person if you want to learn to get better at game. Like I said, he is World of Tanks PC, but everything pretty much transfers over, and he is a great player. I used to watch just a ton of replays on World of Tanks console. I would just search up, say, a tank that I'm grinding or a tank that I'm wanting, and I would be like, I'd search up that tank, World of Tanks console, and then that tank, and I'd just watch a bunch of replays. And I'd always watch the high damage replays because I'm like, how do I do, 10,000 damage or 12,000 damage? Something like that. That's crazy. And I just watched a ton of videos like that. And when I mean a ton, I mean a ton. I used to watch them all the time. And that's how I got better, really. Another thing you can do, we're going to try, I think we're going to try artillery. See how this teaches us. But yeah, let's see this. Holy crap. Hey, at least it doesn't give you premium HE this time. But what I was saying is, yeah, I just used to watch a ton of replays on all these tanks, and that helped me get better. Another thing you can do is don't be afraid to try and make friends. Some of the good players are not exactly super nice to new players, which that's in a lot of games. That's kind of how a lot of games are. What's it wanting me to do here? I don't see anything. But there are also a lot of very nice good players. So I would say there's more nice good players than not nice good players, because some of them actually like helping newer players or less experienced players, like I do. There's been some friends I've helped in the past after I've gotten good to get better at the game. And yeah, look at that. Already is so broken. Why is it so accurate? Wow, why is that so accurate? This is how you play artillery. This is not really teaching you anything, because nobody's going to sit still like this. People are going to be moving. You're going to have to learn how to hit them on the move. So I don't really get the point of this. This isn't really teaching either. But getting friends with good players will just make you a better player. The thing is, I had a couple friends. I didn't really have a lot of friends. I was always a solo player on this game, so I just kind of had to watch YouTube or figure it out myself to get better. But when I did make some friends finally, that really made me a better player, because they knew, like, if I was doing something wrong, they'd like, hey, maybe try this next time, or you could side scrape off of this corner instead of getting shot like that. Yeah, this guy, we gotta hit the building in front of him. But that's one way that you can get better also. And I thought about maybe making a video on how to get better instead of, because this is not the way. This is not how you get better, is learning these little tutorials. They teach you nothing. So don't rely on these tutorials. If you're a new player, screw the tutorials. Watch some YouTube videos. There's a lot of guides out there. Just watch some YouTube videos and that'll help you get better. This game is known for being very complicated and having a super steep learning curve, that I still learn stuff here or there, and I've been playing for 11 years and I know so much about the game that there will still be things here or there that I'm like, wow, I didn't know that. So you can always learn something. It's very complicated to learn. However, if you do want to play the game and get more games in and everything. Oh, it's teaching at a Zoom. You have to bear through the beginning, because the beginning is tough. And I know the game isn't perfect. A lot of people complain about it, but it is a cool game. There's not really any other games like it. You could maybe say War Thunder, but it's a bit more realistic, so I wouldn't even say that it's the same. But yeah, I love this game. It's maybe not for everybody because it's very hard to learn, and you do have to put up with that in the beginning. And look at that. I full penned this poor guy. Yeah, so you got to get through that kind of stuff. But, I mean, I like it. The game definitely, there's a lot of things they could improve about it, because there's a lot of broken mechanics and stuff. However, I will say they are trying now. For all these years, they never listened to the community, and they are starting to finally listen, which is making me happy. And because I want to see this game get better, and that's with any game. Any game, there's no game that's, I would say, is exactly perfect. And so a lot of people hate on this game, and I don't necessarily just want to be a hater for this game. because I do like it. And a lot of people that hate it a lot, they wouldn't be playing it if they didn't like it. So they just hate on it a bunch and still play it. So I don't really understand that. But yeah, they are teaching us try to aim in advance because the tank is moving. So if I just shoot right here, he's gonna move out of the frame. I have to aim in front of him. See how it says I have a 1.2 second lead time? That means it's gonna take 1.2 seconds for my shell to get to the enemy. Thing is, these aren't moving like real players. Real players aren't gonna move like this, and you're not gonna. When you're new at the game, you're not gonna hit these kind of shots because they're not gonna move like this unless they're maybe a heavy tank. You're just not gonna hit them. Artillery, I wouldn't recommend to get into in the beginning because you might become a artillery main, and nobody really likes an artillery main because of how broken the class is. If you play artillery though, I don't really care. I do play artillery sometimes, but at least they're trying to teach you. But I think that's going to be it for this video. I'm going to try and make some guides in the future, maybe on how spotting mechanics work, or how to side scrape, how to play heavy tank, all that kind of stuff. And I'll probably do it at some lower tiers so I can cater to newer players. You know, maybe I'll play the T29 or the KV1, you know, some low-ish tiers. And yeah, but I think that's going to be it for now. So if you like this video, make sure to like and subscribe. But basically, these teach you nothing. If you're new to the game, don't do these. Just watch some YouTube videos. Try and make some friends. That's the best way. But yeah, I'll catch you guys later.